Welcome to In 5 Minutes. The agenda of this clip is to understand that addition function is symmetric. This is very important because if we understand that addition function is a symmetric function, we'll understand that the pull up and the pull down circuits at the transistor level for an adder, 1-bit full adder, would exactly be the same. I'll explain this in details as we go ahead in this clip. Remember, in the further clips we have studied how to implement the transistor level diagram by looking at the truth table. We are going to deploy that technique right now again to understand that addition function is symmetric. Before we go ahead, what I want you to understand is, or what I want you to remember is, which we have already done in the previous clips, that my NMOS transistor turns on when a 1 is applied at its input and is good at producing a 0. So it will be a pull down circuit. Whereas a PMOS transistor turns on when a 0 is applied at its input and it's good at producing a 1 or a logic value high at the output. This is going to be the benchmark along with our truth table. So let's get started. The first thing which we will talk about is Cout, the expression of Cout for my pull down network. Pull down network is nothing but NMOS, remember that, and for NMOS I have written some things here, so that you need to keep in mind. So NMOS is good at producing a 0. We are talking about Cout here, and we are talking about specifically 0 output. So let's highlight those cases. So tell me, when will my Cout be equal to 0? What are the cases? When A is 0, B is 0, and C is 0. We know that NMOS does not turn on when a 0 is applied at its input. So all three are zeros, so we have to invert them. A is 0 means A bar, B is 0 means B bar, and C is 0 means C bar. This case or this case, so plus or. Okay, the second case is A is 0, B is 0, and C is 1. C is 1, so it turns on when a 1 is applied, so C will keep as it is. A will be inverted, B will be inverted, and C will stay as it is. Again, if not this, or this is the case. So again a plus. If A is 0, B is 1, and C is 0. A is 0 means bar, B is 1, so keep it as it is, and C is 0, so again a bar. Or this case, so again a plus. A is 1, so good, we can keep A as it is, and B is 0, and C is 0. We are talking about this case. Great. So we got Cout for pull down network NMOS from the truth table. Now let's do a similar exercise for Cout for pull up network PMOS. For PMOS we know that it is good at producing a 1. So let's highlight all that 1 cases in Cout. And we know that it turns on when a 0 is applied. So whenever there is 1 in the inputs, we have to invert those ones. So let's get started with the first case. When A is 0, so it turns on when 0 is applied, so A as it is. B is 1, so B bar because we want a 0. And C is 1. Again, we want a 0 at the input. So C is 1, so it will be bar. Or if not this, then this. A is 1. Again, it does not turn on when a 1 is applied, so bar. And B is 0, so B as it is. And C is 1, so again a bar. Or another case, A is 1, so bar, and B is 1, so another bar, and C is 0, so this is satisfied. Or the last case, A is 1, so bar, B is 1, so another bar, and C is 1, so another bar. Why? Because it does not turn on when a 1 is applied. So wherever there is 0, we don't put bar. But whenever there is 1, we put a bar, which is exactly opposite to what we did for NMOS. Now let's see what's happening. See this term, A bar dot B bar dot C bar for pull down. Can you see the same term here? Fantastic. See the second term, A bar dot B bar dot C. Can you see that here? Fantastic. See the third term, A bar dot B dot C bar. Present again. And same for the last case. So your pull up and pull down gives you exactly the same functionality. Now With this, we can easily make out that the circuit for your pull up and pull down network will exactly be the same. And that's the reason addition is a symmetric function. We have seen this for C out. In the next clip, or I'm saying in the next slide, we'll see it for the sum as well.